One of the biggest impact on relationships is how people speak to each other. Any relationship, it could be your teacher to a student, it could be a parent to a child, it could be a spouse to the partner, it could be friend to friend. But tone is a big part of relationships, and it causes a lot of friction in relationships. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. How many times has your partner said to you, or your friend or your family member said to you, watch your tone, bring your tone down, don't talk to me like that, or don't approach me like that. And yet consistently is the same argument, is the same conversation, because either you have not learned how to adjust your tone, or your partner is making a big deal about your tone because it's not really about your tone. They're just irritated with you. But more than likely, tone is something that you can control. It takes nothing except effort in order to bring your voice down. I know when you're angry, it's hard to say, I'm angry, control my tone, control my voice. Yeah, I understand that because I'm guilty of that too in the past. If I get angry, my voice, it rises to that Barbadian octave, and I can't control that. But how many of you actually recognize that you can change your tone, and that can change how you effectively deal with your partner or significant other or friend in a relationship? Just bring it down a few octaves. Lower your tone, or some people even react to someone telling them watch your tone or lower your tone, because they're comfortable raising their tone because that's how they express their anger or their frustration. So even the request in that moment just aggravates them more. But the truth of the matter is, tone is a big issue in a lot of relationships. Wanting to say something and saying it with a certain tone or elevated voice or in anger is different than saying it so that the other person can be more receptive to what you're saying. Lowering your voice, bringing it down, trying to match your partner's energy or not is important. And it really helps and makes a difference in relationships. Stop looking, this is one of the things we do in relationships. We often feel like we're being attacked by our partners. We often feel like our partners are we get defensive because we feel our partners are not only attacking us, but they're making us seem like we're the problem. Even if that's the case, how about you controlling what you can control? You can only control yourself. Bring your voice down, lower your tone. If somebody asks you to lower your tone, try it and see what the result will be. Maybe you'll be very pleasantly surprised and realize that if you did that all along, that the communication between you has improved significantly. In addition to tone, I also wrote here your approach, how you approach the situation, how you approach the other person in the relationship is important. It's one thing to come with attitude, and it's another thing to wait for the right moment. Waiting for the right moment is key. You shouldn't, there's a time and place for everything under the sun. King Solomon said it, I did not. So you have to choose your battles. You don't wait for someone to walk through the door from work and you be like, you left the pot in the sink and you didn't. No, you can give them a little chance to unwind, to take off their shoes, to relax, maybe even watch a TV show. Could be male or female, either sex. But let your partner relax and approach them in the right tone at the right time and with the right words. And the right words sometimes, I mean, I'm not ignorant here. I'm not naive. You could say the right words and still have a bad reaction. I understand that. But what I'm saying is consistent practice. If you consistently practice in engaging with your partner in such a way that your tone changes, that your approach is better, because you know yourself better than your partner knows you, I hope. And if you know yourself, you know that your approach is not always the best. My daughter has said to me sometimes, like, when I'm talking to her, she say, Mom, your bedside manner. I'm like, bedside manner might, but I improve it because I love my daughter and I want to not, have problems, and I don't want to aggravate her. So because of my love for her, I adjust accordingly. That's all it is. If you truly love someone, if you truly want to work on your relationship, choose a time. There's a right time and a right place for everything. Work on your tone. Tone can be adjusted. You can just start doing some breathing exercises, Practice, when you're with your partner, practice counting to 10, counting to 100 if you have to, learning to adjust your tone. When you hear that, don't think of it as something that is triggering you to get angrier, but think of it as a request that is asking you to communicate more effectively. It's about effective communication. Approach is everything. The other thing about approach is when you're approaching your partner with a problem. I once had my son, when my son was young, when he was in elementary school, I had a teacher. She would always call me and just complain about my son. He was a class clown. And she told me one time, I went to a PTA meeting and she was like, yeah, he's always playing around this and that, and then that, and then that. And she was just sitting there rattling out a list of problems. And I said to her, I interrupted her and I said, can I ask you a question? I said, what is your solution? And she looked at me, she's like, deer in the headlights kind of light look. And I said, what is your solution? And she had none. She was just there to berate my son, to break him down and to complain, but she had no plausible or possible solutions. And a lot of times in relationships, that's what we do. We approach the other person with a problem, right? And we don't come with a solution because we're not looking to solve a problem sometimes. And I'm not saying there are people who don't have the solution and come with a solution, but I'm saying more often than not, when you present a problem, you understand your partner, you understand the person you're in a relationship with, provide, if not one solution, several solutions, and ask them, what do they think about those solutions? Don't just present the problem. The problem could be, you know what? You don't clean up the room. That was the thing with my son. You don't clean your room. I learned how to deal with that because I was like, it was driving me crazy. So I had to find a solution. And one of the solutions was, hey, you know what, son? How about you are responsible for your room, 7 days a week. And that one day I'll come in and I'll do what I have to do because it makes me feel better. It's not so much about you, it's about me. So that way I wouldn't complain. It worked. It worked for a while. But you always come to the table, not just focusing on the problem, but come with a problem solving technique, which is solution based. A lot of us don't do that in relationships. A lot of us exacerbate the problem because we're looking for the other person to solve it all the time. And I know ladies and some men, your partner is not always quick on the uptake with the solutions, and you may have to wait a while or you get impatient waiting. But I'm talking about the immediate conversation that you're having and engaging with that person. It should be your approach, your tone, and coming from a solution-based perspective instead of just focusing on the problem. Try these techniques and see if they work. I know they're simple. I know they don't apply to every single situation and relationship because every relationship is different. But if you're listening to me and you're understanding what I'm saying, then you'll know it can't hurt, right? My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you as always for visiting my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing to the videos. Thank you for liking the videos and for your comments. I value you. And I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your support as well. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at 813-708-9064. Leave a message. I promise I will call you back when I get a chance. Bye. Have a great day.